Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, here with all of the latest Cowboys rumors, beginning with a trade possibility for Dallas. Could they move up from number 10? Yeah, I'm not buying this one. I find it very, very unlikely that the Cowboys will trade up from the number 10 pick, whether it's for Kyle Pitts or Patrick Surtain or whoever. I don't think this is what the Cowboys will end up doing. Frankly, I almost gave it 4 stars. I went with 3 because it's the NFL draft. Weird stuff happens. Maybe a team is like the Lions, for example, is like, hey, we just really, really, really want to move down. We'll give you a ridiculously friendly offer to do so. Again, it feels unlikely. I know they've been linked to Kyle Pitts. I'm sure the Cowboys have had various conversations with various teams about what the cost could be to move up, move down. That's just basic prep work you're always going to do to make sure you know what the cost is if you do decide to move up. In the end, I think there are 5 players that make a ton of sense for the Cowboys. And again, it's the NFL draft. Weird stuff happens. You're picking at number 10. We know at minimum 3 quarterbacks will go off the board. I'd argue 4, if not 5. The Cowboys are going to get one of these guys, whether it's Penei Sewell, Kyle Pitts, Patrick Surtain, Rashawn Slater, Jaycee Horn, in no particular order. The Cowboys, I would be stunned beyond anything that surprised me before in the NFL draft if one of those 5 guys was not there. Because the Jags, Jets, and Niners, we know they're going to go quarterback. The Falcons will probably take Kyle Pitts or trade down or take a quarterback themselves. So I think you've got those guys there. The Bengals, I am convinced, are taking Jamar Chase. I think the Dolphins are going to go with a playmaker of some type at number 6. Now, the Lions, Panthers, and Broncos all could have various needs as it relates to cornerback, but I think offensive line could be the pick for 7 and or 8. In the end, as a betting man, I feel pretty good saying it's going to be one of these 2 guys, at least as reasonably confident as I could be in a guess of a mock draft pick, right? I think it's either Patrick Surtain or it's Jaycee Horn. I think the Cowboys will take one of those 2 corners. Maybe a team like the Eagles jump up and take somebody. Maybe the Broncos or Lions or Panthers take a corner. But I bet one of them is on the board, if not both of them, for the Cowboys in this year's draft. And then you have the number 10 pick. I don't want to give up assets to move up. Moving to 4, paying a quarterback tax to take a tight end, hard pass. Number 7 is a little bit more manageable from a cost perspective with the Lions or maybe Panthers at 8 too. But I don't want to give away my top assets. If anything, I'm trying to package some of these day 3 picks and moving up to get extra assets and get an extra, if I can somehow pull it off, top 125, top 100 draft pick. That intrigues me a lot because I want to get more help for that defensive side of the ball. So do you guys want to trade up from pick number 10? Maybe there is a scenario in which you want to do that. In general, though, not something I'm looking to do. I say stay at 10. I think one of Surtain, one of Horn will be there. We'll do another video later on about just who the Cowboys could prefer, because I think there's some debate there within the front office and coaching staff side. But get your votes in. Do you want to trade up from pick number 10? Type Y for yes or type in N for no. The march to 100,000 subscribers continues. We are almost at 92. We're a little under 400 away. So if you watch the Cowboys Report and you're one of like the 50% who tune in and yet aren't actually subscribed, let's get that changed. We will break down every single pick with plenty of in-depth analysis. Hit that big red button and join us today. If you're watching like on Facebook, hey, it's youtube.com/CowboysTV right there, bottom of your screen. Join us today. That way you don't miss out on any of the fantastic daily videos we have for you guys here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Let's talk offensive line now. It's healthy. That's what Stephen Jones said. I'm giving this one 2 stars. It is April, and we are already in best shape of life season. Crazy how quickly that ends up happening there. Stephen Jones declared the offensive line it's healthy, that Tyron Smith and Collins or Zack Martin, and they're all good to go for this year and beyond. And like you, I desperately want to believe that that is actually the case. But do we really have a lot of faith in that? Like, sure, they're healthy now. The rehab has gone on, all that good stuff there. But do we really believe that this Dallas Cowboys offensive line, that Tyron Smith and Collins, and I actually feel good about Zack Martin, are going to be 100% for this year and beyond? History says no. Here's what Stephen Jones had to say. I'll start with the fact that we believe that both Tyron and Leal and Zach, so it's actually 3, not both, are going to come into this season as good as we've seen them in a long time. I mean, they are healthy. They are over their injuries. We feel very optimistic. We know what they can do. And it's a huge plus that they've really done amazing after they've had their injuries. They've rehabbed from them, and we felt like they're ready to roll, and not only are we going to have a great year this year, but several years to come. I appreciate the attitude there from Stephen Jones. I do think that's what they believe because they restructured those deals to create some cap space there. But like many of you, I got to see it. I figure Tyron will probably miss about 3 games as he's done the past couple years, and hopefully no more than that. But what is your confidence level in the offensive line's health? Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's go player by player now here. Tyron Smith coming off the neck and the back issues in recent years. Look, he's not that old, guy. He's a young player still. His body's a bit older. If you can get 13, 14, maybe even 12 games out of Tyron Smith, given your decent depth on the offensive line, I actually feel okay about that one. I am a little bit worried about La'el Collins. That hip was a bit of a red flag. There's some conflicting reports on what happened first. Was the hip bothering him and it got him out of shape, or was he out of shape when the hip started bothering him as a result? I'm not really sure. He's the one that, if I'm going to be kept up at night, it'll probably be around him because he's supposed to be young and in the best shape of his life. I think he's going to be okay to start the year. Hopefully things are better for the tackles there. Of the guys I feel the most confident in, it's easily Zack Martin. I'm not concerned about him in terms of staying healthy this year. It was a calf issue. He hasn't had a bunch of lingering injuries in the past. He's always been in a pretty healthy state. So of those 3 players, Zack Martin is the one that concerns me the least. Ironically, I'm also most concerned about the interior offensive line depth, where there's the 2 Connors, Tyler Biadasz, Zack Martin, and, they've liked Adam Redmond for a long time, but I don't think he's actually all that great there. Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, if they're healthy, you'll love the offensive line. There is some decent depth, though. Ty Nsekhe, Brandon Knight, Terrence Steele have all started games in the NFL. That's valuable given the injury problems for Tyron and for La'el Collins. So I went with 2 stars on this one because I just got to see it. I want to believe everyone's going to be okay. I believe that things are going in the correct direction, but I need to see them actually play a season once the pads come on and the hitting starts for me to fully trust that offensive line. Head over to manscape.com/chat. You'll get 20% off and free shipping on all the fantastic men's grooming products, including the Lawnmower 3.0. That is the #1 men's grooming tool out there. Trims up the unwanted hair and junk and stuff that you don't want down there because it makes things look unappealing, and if we're being honest, makes it look a little bit smaller as well. You can also get the perfect package. Comes with the best boxers known to man, a handy traveling kit, and some other goodies as well. So check the comment section. Check the description as well. I'll put that link in there for you guys. It's manscape.com/chat. When you use that URL, you will save 20% and get free shipping on all their fantastic products. Let's dive into the draft here one more time. How about Elijah Molden being drafted as a safety prospect? I'll give this one 2 stars. I am intrigued by it. Shout out Brian Broaddus on Draft 101 with the Fan, who kind of brought up this idea. I like Molden. Now, I have him graded as a nickel corner because that's mostly what he played at Washington. He certainly fits the size to be a nickel corner. But Broaddus suggested maybe the Cowboys could, much like Dan Quinn did with DeMonte Casey, take a nickel corner and play him at safety. Now, Molden did get 1 game as a starter at free safety for Washington. Tough to make a full eval based on just that 1 game. I will make note that the Cowboys did meet with Molden before the NFL draft. So before we go more in depth on this idea, I think you'd have to take Elijah Molden in round 2, even though he didn't run that well at his pro day. So who do you guys want to take in the 2nd round? Is it maybe Trevon Merrick, your dream guy? Maybe you'll happily take Richie Grant instead. Let me know in the comment section who you want the Cowboys to draft in the 2nd round. Now, Molden's play at Washington, I was impressed by. The completion percentage is a little bit high, but again, nickel corner, in general, those guys allow a higher completion percentage for fewer yards. But look at the playmaking. 13 pass breakups, 5 interceptions. He is, I think, in terms of pure nickel corners, the best one. But there is an argument to be made about moving him to safety. I think he could fit that mold really well. He's highly instinctive. And yes, he ran the 4.6 40 at his pro day, which is not great, but there are two ways to get to the spot that you need to be at. Either be super fast or be super smart. And Molden definitely checks off the instinctive box to be that potential safety. Now, I worry about the true range because of the speed, but he can tackle too. So I am intrigued by the idea of Molden making the move to free safety. What I do know about him, he's a good football player. And I need more good football players on this team. If they were to take him in round 2 and say, hey, we're going to make him a free safety, yeah, sure, there's some risk involved there. But I'm intrigued by it. I think he's a good player. And heck, if you want to get really creative and even try Jordan Lewis at free safety at that point, since Molden could also be your nickel guy, I'm also on board if that's the path the Cowboys end up going, which we'll see in just a couple of days.